Hey guys, it's Surviving Darkness with Heather and Jenny. This is episode 42. And today's Halloween, so Jenny is with her little boy, and it's just Jesse and I tonight.
Hello.
We're going to have to start doing a different, like, this week is Heather and Jesse.
Pretty much. At least it starts with a J.
Yeah, H and J. That would be easier. H and J.
Yeah.
We don't know which J it's going to be, so eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had a lot going on this week between my husband's doctor's appointments and Jenny having a test and stuff that we're going to do something. We don't know yet what we're going to do today, but we're going to do something. We've been talking. I'd like to maybe branch off a little bit and start doing like some teaching on some spiritual warfare, how to go about dealing with the spirits that we go up against whenever we're dealing with like fear or bondage, which is addiction and things like that. I'd like to just delve a little deeper into that stuff, and it won't so much be like on the regular Friday broadcast. It'll be like a different section, and more to just help people understand what they're fighting and how to fight, because physical battle is way different than spiritual battle. With the physical battles, it's like you can see the damage that you're doing. Spiritual battles, you just have to know that whatever you're doing to fight or weaken that spirit is happening. It's more of a faith-based thing than it is like a muscle or strength or anything like that. Every week we have some kind of interruption. We either have stink bugs, cats, dogs, we have something. But physically, I mean, you can lift weights, you can get stronger, you can build up your endurance physically. But spiritually speaking, you need to build up your strength and you need to build up your endurance, but not so much with weightlifting. It has to be like studying. You have to know what you're up against, how to fight it. You have to be equipped to fight whatever is coming at you. And with the families, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a spirit that you're fighting, but it can be like a generational spirit also that you have to bind and lose something in its place.
Got a lot of books over there.
I do. I've done a lot
they
of
are
studying.
related. They're Christian books, but I was looking at that.
I have done a lot of studying this kind of stuff.
How many different Bibles do you need?
I have a Bible for every
3, 4,
anything.
5.
If I don't understand the translation on one, I go to a translation of another. And then some of them, there's also one in there in the or in that drawer. Whatever, that drawer of that table, and it really goes into detail. I mean, it talks about pre-Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
And what happened like before Adam and Eve.
That's why I was talking about you doing something like that earlier in the week. Is that something everybody would be interested in? Would y'all want to do that? We'll probably do it either way, whether you want to or not. I think it's just a good
either
thing to do.
You can choose to listen to it or not.
But we'll pick a book. Well, I probably won't be part of it, but she will do it. We'll find out. But kind of doing like a book study, Bible study type thing. It won't always be a Bible. It could be. Mm-hmm. But more so just books of topics like that.
Yeah, how to fight.
Yeah, because you have that one, and you have the other one too that I'm thinking of.
Well, just like boxing, you have to know where to land the punches.
Yeah,
but they're not physical punches; they're spiritual punches. Yeah. You got to know what you're doing. You got to know what to speak. And a lot of people think that you can pray like to yourself, like in your mind, and that works, but it doesn't, because the devil doesn't read your mind. You have to speak it.
Yeah. It might even be worth checking books on Spotify. Spotify has audiobooks for free with your subscription. You get 10 hours a month, I think, of listening to audiobooks. So they could listen to the podcast after they listen to an audiobook. I know people are busy.
Right.
Yes, this is part of the podcast. This is us discussing it. We want to hear your input on stuff too, listeners.
Right.
What would you like to see? When we get
Right.
some more content out there, we have time to do more content. So,
Right. The thing is we talk about all the things that we've gone through and how we battled, but we really didn't battle in the way that we should.
yeah, you weren't doing
We weren't
if you
actually
knew now,
what we knew.
or if you knew then what you knew now,
Right.
it would be a different battle.
Yeah, it would have been totally different.
Yes.
We wouldn't have been years going through what we went through.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been anything like that, which, I mean, going through that so many years has put a desire in us to help someone else not go through that for so many years.
Yeah.
It's gotten us reading all these books, doing these studies, trying to figure out what in the world was going on and how can we help someone else not go through that.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of it is ignorance. And it's not saying that in a derogatory or mean way,
Yeah.
but not knowing that what you're doing is opening a door to a demonic presence. That's a lot of it. People just don't know.
Yeah.
Like even horoscopes.
Yeah.
That is opening a door to demonic stuff. Doing your zodiac signs and that, like basing stuff on that, that's opening a door to demonic stuff. And people do not realize that.
Yeah. Even as much as like simple divination games that people play. Some of them I wouldn't say are. Like
Right.
I don't know that a magic 8-ball is. I mean, I guess it could be. I guess it depends on how much faith you put into this magic 8-ball.
Right.
If
right.
you actually
That's
use
the thing.
that
Yeah.
to like as the determination for your life, yeah, it's probably not great for you.
Well, like in this book, that I've talked about before, The Strong Man, it talks about where the problem is with like the spirit of divination is what you put your faith in.
Yes.
If you put your faith in God, the Holy Spirit guides you and lets you know things that are going to happen or can happen and all of this. But if you put your faith elsewhere, you're putting it into a demonic spirit.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem is. And
Exactly.
then like even so much as rebellion against God is considered witchcraft biblically.
Yeah.
Rebellion
Like,
is
I don't think flipping a coin is, but if you're flipping a coin on something that is between right and wrong, I guess it could be.
right.
Because it is seeking external forces.
Right.
It's just there's a lot of could be, couldn't be.
I think a lot of it's the hard. It's what's
what you're doing
what
with
you're
it.
doing. Right.
Yeah.
Right. If it's just like a little heads or tails and I don't know.
Yeah.
Not for life decisions. Not really. Do I want Snickers or do I want Twix?
Yeah.
Let me flip a coin because I can't decide which one I want.
Yeah, no, I don't think that
yeah.
is.
But hey.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do get drunk tonight or not get drunk tonight? Hey, let's flip a coin.
It's always gonna land on getting drunk.
It's gonna land on whatever you want it to. Because you're gonna keep flipping it until you get it where you want it.
Yeah. It's just I don't know. There's a lot of stuff like that. A lot of those games are bad.
It just made me think of the like when we would play tag and stuff, hide and go seek and stuff like that, and you do the eeny meeny miny mo. And then if it didn't land how you wanted, you kept going with like adding stuff to it.
Yeah.
Bubblegum in a dish. How many pieces do you wish? And just keep going on and on and on until it got how you wanted it. So, yeah. So flipping the coins a lot the same way. I'm just going to keep flipping it until I get the answer I want. Which people do that with the 8-ball too. I'm just going to keep doing it until they tell me what I want to hear. Am I going to marry George? No. Oh, that's not the right answer. Let me shake this thing up again.
Dear Magic 8 Ball, am I ever going to get married? Like,
No.
yeah, always.
Well, that can't be true because I'll try to get married sometimes. Let me shake it up again.
Yeah. Next thing you know, you're marrying a cheap hooker.
Cheap hooker.
I don't know. That's going to make it in, but.
Oh my goodness.
Got married.
Funny.
It might be in Vegas.
Yeah.
For $20, but.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? What is that one country song?
I don't know.
They got married. I got married last night, or I don't even know my last name. Is that what it is?
I don't listen to a lot of country music.
No. It's something. I don't even know her name or something. He got drunk and got married to a woman at a bar, and wakes up the next morning, she's missing teeth and ain't the 10 that he thought he went to bed with. And then he was like, she's like, I don't even know my name. I mean, we got married. And
the fact that you can just
hilarious.
get like married in a drive-through in Vegas, you don't even have to get out of your car.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I do. We're through. Bye.
Just,
it's crazy.
Don't do that. Don't do that, people. Stay away from Vegas.
Stay away from Vegas.
If you have no self-control, just don't go.
Yeah. Well, Jenny eloped in Virginia.
That's not Vegas.
I know, but yeah, you can go to Virginia.
Prostitution's legal in Vegas.
Which now you can go to about anywhere, any courthouse or whatever.
That's still silly.
Yeah. But I guess it is what it is.
I was hearing people talk about that prostitution stuff being legal in Vegas. I was like, I don't want to go there. It sounds like hell. It's just gambling, prostitution, and quick marriages.
Right?
There ain't nothing good in Vegas for you.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, though.
Yeah, your soul.
Unless you get married. Then you got to bring it back.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I need an annulment.
Don't go to Vegas unless you got self-control.
Yeah.
I have no urge to go to Vegas.
I don't either. Too many people.
I mean, that and
Sin City.
yeah, there's so much going on.
Isn't that what it's called? Sin City?
I don't know. What is Los Angeles? It's something like that. Oh, City of Angels.
Yeah.
Although, I don't think there's anything angel related.
Yeah. I'm thinking Vegas is Sin City. I might be wrong. I may be totally wrong.
Consult the internet.
Ask Google. Hey, Google.
This is going to be like every other one of our podcasts where we're hopping around.
I know. It's all good. We're going to record Monday.
It is Vegas.
Okay. We were going to record Monday, but Jenny had that procedure, so she wasn't really with it Monday.
And I'm not really with it right now. I've been sick all week.
And then our cousin came over Sunday, but we didn't record.
You just sang karaoke.
Yeah, that was scary. With my oldest son, who plays all these songs that are growling songs and words, or songs I've never even heard. He's like, "Here, sing this one with me." How can I sing a song that I've never heard before in my life?
A lot of them are songs you don't want to hear again in your life.
Right. I mean, yeah.
Some of them are okay. Some of them not as much.
Right. And then, like our cousin that was on here the one time talking, and we are going to have her back probably not this weekend, but the next weekend, I think. Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But anyway, we're going to be asking like questions and stuff. She thought it might be better.
Someone who is here. Are you talking about who was here Sunday?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The
one that was
for some reason I thought you said a different cousin.
No.
And I
that
was
we
like,
needed we were going to continue with the things that have gone on. And we were talking, we probably could do another month. We did three episodes with her.
Yeah,
and
we did one and then broke one into two.
We could probably do another 3 or 4 just to cover her life.
Yeah. People have interesting lives.
Right.
I've had an interesting week. There's stuff going on at our house.
There is.
Yeah.
This is the first I'm hearing about it. What's going
Yeah,
on at
I
your
didn't
house?
think about it until you said
Do I
something
need to
like
bring
that.
the oil and come
I don't
oil up your
think
house and chase stuff out?
the cabinets keep opening. We'll walk through the kitchen and they'll just open, and they've done that before. But like, I'll go try and open this cabinet on my own, and I can't get it open.
Yeah.
And then it'll just pop open.
Wow.
And our closet door, it doesn't have a door handle, so we like wedge it shut with a lid, like a candle lid, a metal one. It popped out and shot onto the bed, which is probably like 6 feet away.
Yeah.
And the door like cracked open, and I was like, well, that's a little weird. But the other night, my girlfriend fell asleep, and her phone was on her side of the bed. I wake up, and it's on my nightstand. I don't remember putting it there. That being said, I've been sick and taking NyQuil. It could have happened.
Right.
But I feel like I would remember that.
Right.
So that was.
But you haven't seen it?
No, I haven't seen anything. But
right now it's just playing.
Yeah. I don't really feel anything either, though. That's why I'm like, it might be coincidence or it might not. Like, I mean, it's an old house. Things could be shifting.
Yeah, but
At
I
the
mean,
same
if it's
time.
hard for you to open it manually, like,
Yeah.
and then
It's also hard
opens.
for me to close it. And I don't know
Right.
if her dad would be getting anything out of there and just not getting it shut all the way.
Yeah.
But I'll notice it just being open in the middle of the night.
Yeah, randomly being.
And there's
open.
just random tools in it. So, I mean, he might just be getting random tools out.
Mm-hmm.
He's been here.
Well, I've only been in there
and
one
stuff.
time, and I got sort of an eerie feeling there.
It's an eerie house. It's an old
dark.
coal house.
Yeah, and it's so dark, and
Yeah.
that's what I contributed it to. Is it's just a dark, dreary house.
Yeah.
But it reminds me a lot of the house that we grew up in, because it was like that too. But there was so many trees around it. It had those real tall pine trees and stuff, and it's like it shaded the whole house. There was a pine tree to the right of the front, then there was this big maple tree to the left of the front,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was a big old chestnut tree in behind the house, and then to the side there was another pine tree. Well, on both sides, that was big. The big, not the thin, bristle like pine.
Oh.
That has like the little needles.
Yeah,
It's the
needles.
thick, like evergreen, but the real tall. It was like a blue green.
I thought all pine trees had needles. Might not. I don't know much about
No,
pine trees.
these weren't so much. They didn't have so much needles. It was like, it was more the blue green, thick branches.
Are you talking about a fir tree?
More like that, I would say.
They're also an evergreen tree.
But they were so tall. I mean, they were like 20 feet tall. But it shaded everything. So the house already had the dark paneling.
Talk about more like these. That's what a fir tree is.
No.
They're still needly.
No. Is it a spruce?
Maybe.
See if that's what it might be. They might be spruces. But they were so big, and everything was so shaded and dark and dreary, and then with the dark paneling and everything else, the floors were dark wood. Everything was just dark.
This is all the types of evergreen trees that I see. But they all kind of have needles.
Yeah. The branches were more like this one right here. It didn't have like wasn't like the needles.
Similar like a white pine where they're in like
Yes,
bushels.
that's what it was. White pine. Yeah, that sounds right. It was definitely pine because it had all that pine sap and everything else that came out of it. And there was I don't know how many of those. And then we had like
Yeah, they still have needles.
the snowball bushes.
That's what a white pine looks like. Is
Yeah.
not right?
It's not like the fir, I guess, the fir trees or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But they weren't small. They were huge trees.
Yeah.
Very tall. And I ran into the branches of those things all the time with my eyeballs.
Ow.
Yes.
Didn't learn.
Because they were so low. And we would be playing or whatever, and I'd take off running. And poof, right, I can't tell you how many times I went around with an eye patch. I'd have galls and stuff on my eye because mine would be like all scratched for like all the time. Between that with the pine trees and stepping on chestnut burrs, we lived a painful life.
We have no trees around our house. The exact opposite, actually. There's like no trees.
Right. Yeah. So it's just that dreariness of the dark.
During the day, our house is bright. There's a lot of windows and stuff.
Well, the only time I came there was when we had a tornado on the way.
Yeah. So it was dark.
It was dark.
But yeah, the walls and everything, where they're like old walls and like the wood and everything, they just absorb light. I would hate to have been in that house when it was lit by oil lamps.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That seemed like something awful. Like,
but I wonder, like, you go in an old house and it's just automatically, it's like, oh, this place is creepy. Is it just because it's old?
I don't know if it's just because it's older. The fact that there's been a lot of people there that are probably dead now that might still have attachments.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be that, and
don't know what's happened there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of bad people to live in that house too.
Well,
like the house
you don't know what
in.
they've done in there.
I mean, I do.
I mean, no, I'm talking about spiritually with like boards, witchcraft stuff. You don't know.
Yeah. No, we didn't find any of that clean.
But then again, I mean, the things that you have mentioned.
Yeah.
I mean, that is spiritual too.
Because the last people that were there didn't clean anything out. We had to get rid of everything. We had to get rid of beds, couches, everything.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
A lot of yucky stuff.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be shocking if there was stuff there. It just would be if I didn't notice it.
Yeah. Which a lot of people, well, most people that do evil things are usually operating in a demonic spirit.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Well, they had masks and stuff in their room that they would use to scare the kids. And it was like, they used to do like the dance interpretations or whatever at your church. And they were masks just like that.
Mm.
Yeah. And then there was like other ones too.
Right.
But yeah, they would use that to scare the children that they had.
Oh, wow.
Pretty mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be influenced by something evil to do that kind of evil
especially
stuff.
to children.
Right.
So it's just weird.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I noticed that lid going and I was like, it's a little odd. Just coming out of the door like that.
Right.
But other than that, no, pretty much everything's normal there. Other than occasional footsteps upstairs, but it's an old house and it's been windy. The things creak.
Right.
I might just be making excuses, but
I'm like, you usually know.
I usually do feel stuff, and that's why I'm like,
yeah,
could be coincidence. I mean,
right.
Same way things could happen there because it's an old house. It could also just be an old house.
You're talking about it right now, so we'll know here soon.
Yeah.
When you start talking about it is when it starts showing itself. It's like, yeah,
typically.
I've
been talking about
it. You know I'm here.
Yeah, let's talk about it with my girlfriend. And she was like, oh gosh. She was like, I hope it's not that. And I was like, yeah. I was like, don't we all?
Yeah. Well.
Stuff's just annoying.
It is.
It's not even at the point where it's like very scary. It's just like, stop. I mean, I think there'll always be a point where it's still like.
That's how ours started out. Yeah. Just little things like fixing tea for us and things like that.
If that happens, I'm not gonna be happy once it gets. If it becomes obvious.
Well, I wasn't real happy because it put cold water in there. We had to start all over again, heating the water up and everything.
Yeah, if it starts doing stuff that's like blatantly obvious, then yeah. But until then.
Yeah, run in the shower at 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah, that's a little too obvious.
But it wasn't, I mean, it's like we didn't hear it. it was somebody who was staying all night. She was like, "Who in the world was in the bathroom at 4 o'clock this morning taking a shower?" I'm like, "Nobody." Yeah, there was. The shower was one. I'm like, there was nobody up at 4 o'clock in the morning taking a shower.
Yeah.
So it's just things like that. And you know that bathroom was so creepy too. Now that we talk about it, that bathroom in that house was like you walked in the bathroom and the shower was to the left, and then like in behind this wall was like the bathtub. It was a very narrow bathroom.
Yeah.
And then the washer and dryer was on the far wall. There wasn't much room between the sink and the toilet. And it had this old medicine cabinet with this little slot in it. We thought maybe, somebody had hid money or something in behind it, like it was some kind of bank or something, because it had a funky slot in it.
Yeah.
But it was like when you went in there, you felt like you could get trapped easily, which Jenny sort of did. We had a cat, and he was going through the change from a kitten to a tomcat, and he was crazy. Yeah. He trapped Jenny in the bathroom, so she didn't have any choice but to try to run past him to get out, and he jumped up and bit her right on the butt.
Oh my gosh.
And then he got me trapped in there one time, and he climbed up my legs like he was going for my face.
Oh my.
So
I don't like cats.
And now that I think about it, maybe it wasn't so much going through a change, because I've had other male cats and they didn't get crazy like that.
I've never heard cats at all. Man.
It could have been something. It could have been influenced by whatever was in that house. But it would knock him off the back of the couch and everything else.
Wow.
Yeah, he would be laying there asleep, and then all of a sudden, thunk. You could tell he got knocked off. It wasn't a simple "I fell off." It was a
cats don't really fall much.
No,
they're pretty nimble.
No, he got knocked off.
That's not fun.
No, so I guess maybe that's why he did attack us. He was a little mad because somebody and something kept knocking him off the couch, off the bed, and everywhere else. But I didn't think about that until just now about the bathroom. It was a spooky room too.
I'm glad our bathrooms
It was very, very narrow. You didn't have anywhere you could go.
You didn't go in our bathroom, did you? You have to pee everywhere you go, so I wasn't sure. It's pretty open.
No.
There's just mirrors in every room. And I hate it. I hate mirrors.
Yeah.
I always feel like I'm going to see something in the mirror.
Well.
And sometimes when I go past them, I feel like I do.
I still, to this day, like, when I take a bath, and the mirrors are fogged up, I look at an angle to see if there's anything written on them. Yeah. Where we had messages all the time on the mirrors, I still catch
I've never had messages, but I've had handprints on foggy mirrors, and I don't know if it's from people touching it in the oil, causing that, or what it was. But I don't know. Like,
and it wasn't it wasn't even that the mirrors were foggy and stuff was written on them. It was written in blood most of the time, but it was the angle. You could see like how my dresser was upstairs. Mm-hmm. When you walked in, it was at the angle to where you could see that there was something written on it. Yeah. And it would be in this smelly, putrid blood. Hmm. So I now, like, if I see any little imperfection in a mirror that's fogged or whatever, I go look from a side view to see is there something written on that.
When I shower, I normally face like the curtain, like the outside. I've had things like touch.
Yeah.
While I'm showering, like.
Yeah. Touch.
You'll see stuff move like out from the curtain. I've seen hands and stuff.
Yes, and
And you'll see like silhouettes through it sometimes too, like a shadow. Well, obviously not much
prepared.
Anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at our old house, really. And I would see stuff like that, and I'd just kind of be like, man, it's probably just like my reflection or something. But no, it's not.
Right.
Just playing it off.
Right.
Yeah, I've had like times where I feel like something's getting ready to touch me, and I'll turn around and the curtain will
move.
And I was young. I was a kid. Me now, I might bump the curtain. I'm a big boy.
Right.
I was young then. I definitely didn't do that then.
Right.
Yeah, it's just.
It's weird the things that once you've gone through stuff that you carry over into adulthood, years later, I'm still checking mirrors.
Yeah.
Seeing if there's messages on mirrors.
I have to have my phone with me while I shower. I'm afraid of the power going out when I shower.
Yeah.
That would creep me out. And it's happened before, and I hate it.
Yeah.
I have to have music while I shower, but that's an unrelated thing. That's because my ears ring, and like shower water hitting the floor and the ringing in my ears like
drives you crazy.
resonates, and it makes it sound hollow. So I have to have like some kind of outside noise.
You're just a weirdo. It'll be okay.
I should go see a doctor about my ears ringing.
Yeah, eventually.
Eventually, I'll go see a doctor.
Go see a doctor.
See an ENT.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's pretty much about all we have this week. But yeah, just be looking for the equipping people with the ability to fight demonic presences and spiritual warfare and things like that.
What book you think you're gonna start with? That one?
The Strong Man.
All right. I'll get all that worked out. And I'll make a post about it. So if y'all are interested in that and want to buy the book and read along, we'll make a Facebook post about it. I might come back on here when I'm editing and give you the rundown of the book, like where to find it and everything. I'm going to check if it's on Spotify first, too. So then maybe y'all won't have to buy the book. You can listen to it with your Spotify subscription. For everybody else that doesn't listen on Spotify, sorry.
Right.
I don't pay too much attention to the other ones. I don't know if Apple has audiobooks. So.
All right. Well, you all have a good week. Bye.
Bye.